I'm in a churchyard in the centre of Lincoln, and it's quite a windy day, and the leaves are rustling in the wind of these majestic London plane trees. I'd like to tell you a little bit more about the London plane. It's believed to be a hybridization of the American sycamore and the Oriental plane tree, and it was hybridized in Spain in the 17th century before making its way over to Britain, where it was planted populously by the Victorians. Now, the reason it was planted, especially in towns and cities, as an urban tree or a street tree, was for its ability to cope with atmospheric pollution. Let's take a look at the leaves in closer detail. So let's take a look at some of these leaves that are blown down in the wind. They're big, leathery, glossy leaves. The stalk, or the petiole, is about 4 inches long, or about 10 centimeters long, and the leaves themselves are glossy and thick, and they're easily as big as my hand. From the stalk tip to the edge of the leaf is a good 10 to 20 centimeters in length, and they're even broader across, up to 25 centimeters across. The bark is really interesting because it exfoliates in the summer and big pieces slough off the tree. That's the way it works, that's the way it copes with the pollutants. And this is some of the lovely bark. It starts off a sort of green or silvery colour in the summer, and then later in the autumn and the winter it turns to a more buff brown colour. I suppose this is already starting to show some of the autumn colour, and even a ladybird there. The fruits are dense, spiky masses of seeds, and they disperse on the wind. And finally here we've got some leaves that are already showing some autumn colour. They're a beautiful yellow or orangey colour. Well, I do hope that's given you a slightly better understanding of the London plane tree, and I hope that you might take the time to go out into your local town or city and maybe try to find one for yourself.